It's a pretty nice jersey.
Thank you.
I don't think I've seen you drip that.
No, you know what happened? Now this is vintage, I guess, at this point.
But
This is from 1996.
I was like, due to the fact that you're vintage, it becomes vintage, or
No, it is vintage. It is vintage. I found. So you know how you have
Yes.
lost treasures, and sometimes those reappear and
Yeah.
they make your day. And so what happened for me was I had been using one of my kids' dresser drawers, evidently, for my jersey collection.
without knowing.
And
Yeah,
at some
no,
point I knew, but
That's the best.
decade ago.
That is absolutely the best. You find something, you had something, you knew you had it,
had it.
but
Right.
gone from memory. Yes.
Lost to
Honestly, it's
time.
better than finding $20. That's like, and
Yeah, for sure. Because
it's one of the best things about being a parent is
and value.
Okay, am I going to sit down and play Super Nintendo as a grown-up? Probably not. But did I absolutely love opening the box in the garage, being like, I think I know where that thing is. Opening the box in the garage.
Yeah.
I was like a kid on Christmas. My kids were like, what are you so excited about? I'm like, wait till you see.
Yeah, I had this. So not just with my jerseys, which Lakers, Nick Van Exel representing here from '96. Again, he got traded shortly after I got this jersey. But anyway, at Target they have these wrestlers, like the big rubber wrestlers.
No.
I don't know if you're old enough for this, but I have an entire pack of these
In the
things.
box.
They're from like '88.
Oh.
No. But at Target, they repackaged them to the original packaging, and they're on the store shelves. And I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting when I saw them yesterday. I didn't buy them because they were $25, but it was still exciting just to see it because, you know, they took Toys R Us from us.
They did.
So that look into nostalgia is not as
Okay,
what it once
speaking of
was,
80s, I know that you just went to go see He-Man. All right, so we
Yes.
need a...
Apparently no one else did, but I did.
Oh,
Based on
okay,
its
so I didn't
return.
see that. Yeah, no, I know what
The
you're
money
talking about,
returns.
and I actually, normally that's what I would look at. I didn't. I did look at the Rotten Tomatoes review, and it had good reviews.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was great. It was great. It was. I was very disappointed when I saw.
Let's clarify
the
something
numbers
first.
coming
It's
out.
not actually called He-Man. Because I typed
Masters
He-Man
of the
into
Universe.
Google, and I got something totally different.
Yeah, the show was Masters of the Universe, but
Character.
He-Man was the
Got it. Okay.
the character of it.
So
yeah, but yeah, it was really good.
we need a whole
I
Smith
was,
take on this.
I was concerned going into it because they did it. I will say they did a terrible job marketing it. Terrible job. Like the people that they should have been marketing it to it was the 80s, obviously masculine, grew up on Arnold Schwarzenegger, big
Right.
muscles movie guy. But they tried to push the like he works in HR, like that's the premise. Like he works in HR, he likes to solve problems through talking and whatnot, but that's not what the movie's about at all. There's literally a part of it where the guy's like, hey man, guess what? Sometimes you gotta punch people to get things done. Like you can be this great person all day long, but sometimes you just gotta punch people. And it was great. Like I loved it. I'm excited for it to come out on streaming, but I was disappointed that it didn't take off. But I blame
I
the
had never
marketing.
heard of it. You said you were going to go see it, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So, yeah, you're talking about who they should market it to. I was thinking, like, guys who bought Lakers jerseys in the 90s, but I don't know what that demographic actually looks like now that I think about it.
Well, I feel like obviously not a lot because you know my generation has been kind of shot down with the
Yeah.
woke demasculinity,
Masculization,
masculinization. There you go.
Somewhere in
of
there we got it.
Our heroes, right? So I think this could have been a good kind of harkening back to
Yeah.
that idea, and they didn't lean into it enough. And I think had
that's
they
an
done
interesting
that, they
take.
would've-
Maybe that's why it didn't get traction. I mean, imagine taking this movie, which again, Masters of the Universe main character He-Man. Like in today's day and
Right.
age, you take that to the studio execs, and they're like, "Ooh, we're not putting a big marketing budget behind that
Yeah.
one."
Well, because what happened is they did a reboot of the cartoon
Recently,
But what they did is they put He-Man as a secondary character and put Teela, the female lead, as the protagonist. So that created like the girl boss, which then people are like, "Oh my god, I don't want to watch this."
because the
again." Like, I
true
don't need
fans
to
wanted
see-
the original setup. Yeah,
right. You want to see your guy get big,
Right.
beat people up, and do the thing. Like you want your hero to be heroic. You don't want him to be saved. And we went through that period of the hero needs to be saved or be told they're not doing something right or whatever it might be. They did it with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
They did it with a host of other video game
it
characters.
has to be
They
this
do
whole
it- that
personal
kind of stuff.
journey alongside saving the world.
Yeah, I don't want that. I just want muscles and punching.
A simpler time, if you will.
Right. One of my favorite movies is Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The simplest premise. He's
Right.
ex special forces. His daughter gets
Go get him.
kidnapped.
Right.
He go gets her. And he
Okay,
shoots
so
everybody
then
in the
how
way.
does that compare with Taken in your mind?
Taken's much more cerebral.
Okay, right. I was going to say sophisticated, but cerebral is the right word. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you're getting a different vibe. Like, I don't want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger going through the investigative process. I want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like, oh, I know
Right.
who did it, and I need to go get guns.
I'd
and then
stop
I'm
by
gonna
the
go shoot 'em.
armory, and then we'll be off.
Right, literally, right. And then we're
I'm
on our
chuckling
way.
right now thinking about like Liam Neeson as a guy. Yeah, he's tall and whatever, but he's pretty unassuming. Like he's a fairly normal looking guy, and so he has to tell you that he has a particular set of skills.
Right.
If Arnold is
Yes.
telling you that, assuming you could see him or knew what he looked like, he wouldn't have to tell you that. You know that he has a particular set of skills.
Yes. Yeah. Now I do think Liam Neeson
Oh, yeah.
did well with it, and I think that I do like that idea because they did the movie
Oh
Nobody,
yeah.
where it's that kind of unassuming special forces.
Talk about
ex-special
HR
forces guy.
Yeah, he's like in the human resources department, plain Jane guy.
Yeah.
I really like that storyline because it's so relatable. That's what we all want. Like we all know that we're like living this boring normal life, and we want there to at least be this glimmer of possibility that one of us could be an assassin at night.
Ooh, man. You think who
Right.
our
Well,
work
I
world-
think that they just retired and moved to a different school. So, I mean, I
Yeah,
think
could
that
be.
that speaks for itself. She got found out, and so the
Right.
agency had to move her.
Ooh,
Yeah.
could be.
Because who's going to go
Could
follow
be.
up at her new school and be like, "Are you there?" Like, no. The agency's just going to post
Right.
some fake AI pictures of her at that school in the future on her socials, and
That's right.
she's covered. Right.
if they do socials.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, I that definitely is appealing, and that's the charm of Arnold is that there is no charm. It is very on the chin. Like
No.
yeah, it's
You know
coming
what
at
you're
you.
getting. And the marketing, you just
Which is
show the
why
muscles.
I think that one of his best films is actually Kindergarten Cop. Because it
I
takes
just
the whole
watched that,
thing and flips it on
like,
its
2
head.
weeks
It's
ago.
like, you know what Arnold is built for, and it is not a
Yeah.
kindergarten classroom. So we'll just stick him right in there.
Well, because what's great about that movie is he starts
Yeah.
in that role as like the badass detective,
Right.
like blowing things up, and then obviously
fish out of water.
transitions into the cop. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
perfect. It's a great movie. It's really. I
Did
enjoy
you
it.
see The Pacifier with Vin Diesel?
No.
Okay.
I know what
Yeah,
it is.
another
but
fish
no,
out of
I did
water
not see
story.
it.
I do think Arnold holds it together better. What other movies are you excited about? I know. Okay, I felt like when I went to go see Toy Story 4, that was going to be the last Toy Story. Like I felt like they had put a bow on it and said, yes, we did 1, 2, 3, but we had to come back for the reprisal here, the encore, and we've covered it. I was shocked to hear that they're coming out with Toy Story 5, and so where are they going to go with this?
I never saw 4 because I thought 3 was the perfect ending. Because I was like, because that
Yeah,
was the journey,
the arc.
Like that was my journey with Andy and his toys. Like we had the full, and again, I was 14 when that came out, so it wasn't quite the same because Andy's a little kid. But like I knew that obviously we all know that feeling of transition to college and like
Yeah.
right. Well, not post-Trump. We're not.
Right.
It's a different detransitioning.
Right.
Or transitioning. But anyway, but you have the toys. Like you have your toys
Yeah.
that you put away, and then you rediscover them as he did, like my jersey. And then he gives them up, and then he literally drives off into the sunset in the third one. So it's just like that completes the story for me. And then
So
I
are you
just
going to
never saw
deprive
4.
your child of your only child of 4 and 5? Okay, but are you going to take
She
her to
saw
5?
No, I'm not.
I love
I
that
just
that
don't-
sets the
when
tone. Here's the tone. We are going to go see Masters of the Universe starring He-Man, but we will not be seeing Toy Story 5.
Correct, because I choose when stories end, not the producers, not the directors, not the writers, because they make bad decisions. So when let's use Indiana
Okay.
Jones as an example. The first 3, he literally it's called The Last Crusade. He is literally riding off into the sunset. I don't need any more of that. Like the story's complete. You put the perfect bookend on the story. I love it. We're moving on. We're moving on. We don't need to go back and explore. And then they put 2 more out since then. I only
This
saw
has
one of them. I
been
didn't see the other one. But like
This has
the
been
Matrix, same thing.
a very good discovery for me because I always wondered how the genre of fan genre where they write their own endings, they write their own episodes. Like I wondered how did that ever come about, and I just discovered it. Like people like you are like, no, that's not right. That's
Right.
not what Woody would do here, and so we're gonna rewrite this scene.
No. Well, because what happens too is that you have obviously studios change heads.
Director
The
to director, like in the same,
Right.
and really I see it more on TV shows. Like TV shows that have a certain tone, you get a new director in for a single episode, and it's like, have you seen any of the other ones of these? Because they don't look like this.
Right. Right. Yeah, because you can look at Star Wars. Obviously, had the sequel trilogy done by different people after Disney bought the source material, so that changed the whole kind of direction of it. So, I mean, people just
I have a
pretend
little
like
tidbit
those don't
for you.
happen.
What famous movie series did George Lucas want to direct, but never was given the opportunity? Oh yeah.
It's been made now.
When I say it, you're gonna know. But yeah. So you no thoughts, no guesses.
No.
That's our crickets, friends. We got okay. We got to pause the conversation here. We're going to answer this trivia question in just 1 second. But for those of you watching, which why wouldn't you? Yeah,
The numbers are going up.
those little hearts are flying across the screen right now.
Yeah.
We are actually in our new studio, so let's pause here for a second.
New studio. Real studio. See these things? Look at
Psych,
this.
gotcha. You thought we were in our new studio last week. It's because we had to put the finishing touches on, and now we are good to go, which is why I was
right.
able to give the crickets.
Give them a taste of what
okay.
else
All right,
we can
all
do
right.
here.
So let's. Okay.
There's a little preview of things to come.
Chad, why don't you tell us a fun fact?
Okay.
Any
about
fun
what?
fact you got? Tell us a
Okay.
joke. You got a joke?
Okay. Am I doing it now?
I was going to do the applause after, but you had nothing, so we just we rolled.
So a Jew,
Oh.
a Jew. Okay, no,
All
no,
right,
no.
so we got the whole board working, and this is actually one of our favorite new things.
Hello. How are you today?
Well, that's Chad's favorite. This is my favorite.
Hey, here I am. I'm coming to the
Okay,
playground.
that got real weird. All right, so we're excited. We got a new studio. We're gonna have all sorts of new upgrades. Stay tuned and listen.
Oh my gosh, the possibilities are
Yes, they really are.
actually endless.
Okay, going back to our trivia question though.
Yes.
What series did George Lucas sat down with the producer several times and got denied and wanted to direct one of the movies in this series? Give me one guess.
One of in a
Lots of clues in
series,
there.
So there's got to be more than. Who? Godfather.
That is a good guess. The answer is no. We just had a little lighting upgrade for our listening audience. 007, James Bond. George Lucas sat down with the
That makes
producer,
sense.
and the timing works out. I mean, that's when he was in his prime and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
in no uncertain terms, George said he wanted to do it, and said the producer was unfriendly about that idea. And so the interviewer who was talking to him,
The British.
so
they're
snooty. And the
snooty.
interviewer who was talking to him about it said, hey, what, if they would offer to you now, would you do it? And what did George Lucas say to that? You can't afford me. Burn. You did listen. I
Yeah.
gave you several shots, bites at the apple here. You didn't take it, and now guess
Yeah.
what? Price is going up, baby.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last few. That's another one, James Bond. They moved him as to a more of a side character on the last one,
I'm not positive.
and they had more of a female female
Yeah.
lead. I didn't.
Oh.
Even, because of that.
Oh, is it Mrs. Bond now?
I think so.
Who knows?
I don't know. Who knows? And they took away his womanizing. Like that's the whole. Like that's
Yeah,
his
he needs
main
a
character trait.
martini shaken, not stirred, and some sort of Bond girl. Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
not in 2026.
if not
though.
one. Right.
So I completely agree. So does that take you down to Sean Connery? Who's the best Bond of all time?
I've never seen.
Really?
A Sean
I mean, they are
Connery
the
Bond
older
movie.
vintage. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I've seen Goldeneye.
I think
With
Pierce is my
Brosnan.
guy.
I liked him. I like Daniel Craig and Casino
Daniel
Royale. That was
Craig
a good movie.
was pretty good, except he didn't quite have the same level of charm as Pierce. Like Pierce could manage the
Yeah.
stern with the charm, and Daniel was just more stern.
Yeah, I think it was also their physique.
I didn't notice. I'm gonna be honest with
changed. Yeah, Daniel
Got
Craig's
it.
a little broader.
you. Is that that's
Pierce is
that's
a
your
little
deal? A
more
little
slender.
broader. Okay.
Yeah. Because he had to make up for the charm. Make up with charm. Because he didn't have
Attributes.
the physical.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think also when Daniel Craig came around, there's been like the spy thriller became a whole genre
Yeah.
unto
Jason
itself.
Bourne.
So there's just so many
Yeah.
different varieties of it versus just the Bond movies that were kind of
Yeah.
their own thing for a while.
I'm always in on the first one. I think it's hard to carry the story forward past that. So speaking of which, and they did this in reverse order. They actually did the series first. Well, obviously books, but then series, and then they did the movie for the new. What's the new one on Amazon that just came out? Jack Ryan. There you go.
Jack Ryan.
Did you watch the movie?
No, I gave up on the series after the second. I think I watched the full
Oh, okay.
second season, and then I just can't. I mean, I like him,
Yeah, I love him.
Jim from The Office, but it's just weird in him in that.
Have you ever
role,
seen
like,
him and
it's
his wife
still-
banter? She is British and ruthless and hilarious. She's the best. In fact,
Yeah.
Emily Blunt, I think that we need to have you on the show. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
get your people.
we'll
talk
get
to
that
our
lined up.
people. I think you'd enjoy our
we upgraded.
studio.
I mean, we couldn't have invited her on before now. But now that
no,
that's
no
exactly
one would
right.
come
But
on before,
now we've got
but now, sky's the limit.
sky is the limit.
Tom Cruise. in a few
Okay,
weeks.
so let's get heady for a minute. We got a couple segments we're gonna do here. First thing is, you brought up this question earlier, and I liked it. Should there be trillionaires? That was your question, and my immediate rebuttal is we have had this conversation when we were talking about billionaires. Like the should there be billionaires was absolutely a conversation when there
Right.
was a handful of them, sub 100. And I mean, obviously it's a good question. The problem is that it absolutely consolidates too much power and eventually in the hands of fools. Like the originator of that wealth clearly knew what they were doing, and whether their choice, whether you
Yes.
agree with their choices or not in terms of how they used their financial influence, okay, fine, but they had earned the right to exercise that however they want. But when we get down to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth generation, like these
Right.
people are completely out of touch. They may have never even met the person who bequeathed this to them.
Well, yeah, I think the big difference is they
Right.
obviously didn't earn the wealth, so they didn't.
And again,
they
they
don't
were-
have any of that motivation. They don't have any of that backbone to make decisions, or they've never failed or been
Right.
told no because they've lived a life.
That
of privilege.
is my issue. My issue is not with the trillionaire. My issue is with the idea that 4, 5, 6 generations later, there can still be people living off of this wealth,
Right.
and it's completely unchecked.
Well, and that tree
Yes,
spreads.
absolutely.
If you have 3 kids, think about it. You're a trillionaire, billionaire, whatever. You have 3 kids. They each have 2 kids. They have like that. You're
Yeah.
spreading that wealth so far, and you have so many more people of privilege that have not
Absolutely.
earned any of it.
I
So
love
what's
it.
the solution, though? Do you think that once you
I-
die, the
I have
government
one.
takes
Well,
it, or
Yeah,
goes into a
I
trust?
understand. I understand the argument that no one feels that the government is 100% efficient in deploying capital, no doubt. So, but with that being said, you've got options, and I think that really what it comes down to is it doesn't have to be a cliff, but it has to be a true 25% estate tax. Like right now, you can do estate tax planning and completely avoid it. So we need to cut out the loopholes. 25% estate tax. So that way, if you start with $1 trillion, if you earned $1 trillion, your heirs can inherit 750, and then when they pass it on, again, we'll chop it by 20. But it doesn't have to go to the government. It doesn't have to be a tax. It has to be either tax or charitable giving. My only pause in that is that by calling it charitable giving, well, then what happens? Well, then these people just set up a foundation for themselves, and they pay themselves, and they.
Right.
And I get it. You can't totally.
Could go to public works. Like the Vanderbilts and
Absolutely.
Carnegie, that's what they did.
You have to build
at
a
the end of
hospital
their
or something.
Run. Built, hospitals, libraries, schools.
Right. Follow that model. Absolutely. So my answer is that yes, I think that we can take the existing structure of an estate tax. We can make it unavoidable, cut out the loopholes that currently allowed you to get out of it, but still give you a couple of different off-ramps. And frankly, again, nobody's favorite option is give it to the government because no one has faith that it'll be handled correctly.
Yeah, because that's just going to go to a daycare in Minnesota.
You'll have to catch one of our
Allegedly.
prior shows to really dial in on that. Yeah. So, that's my solution. What are your thoughts?
I don't disagree with that. I would think I would put a cap on the 25%. Like, if you have 100,000, that's a different 25%. Than
It's a phase
billion,
in for sure.
25%.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the
start
estate
at $1
tax,
billion. If the estate that you're
Yeah.
handing down is $1 billion, then you're eligible. If it's under $1 billion, you're not eligible.
Right. Yeah. I think that the public works, I think, is a good idea. I think anything that can go to things that can't be grifted somewhere
Exactly.
else. Because even if you build a library,
Yeah.
somebody's got to run it. Someone's got to get the contracts for it. Someone's got to build it. Someone's got to do all these things. So there's still ways, but the least amount of poor money management.
Well, and
the
you
less
hit the nail on the
people
head,
in
the
charge.
grift that goes along with that. What's so powerful is an endowment run by people who care. Like you say, the library, if it costs $25 million to build a library, okay, fine. But like you say, you need another $5 or $10 million endowment to pay for the ongoing expenses of that library. Because obviously what you don't want is to build a library, them not be able to operate it, and so it become decrepit, and that's the legacy of this fund or anything else. So pairing those two things together and putting it in the hands of passionate people absolutely will solve the problem.
Yeah, because I've been watching since it's the 250 anniversary. They're moving historical documents around the country, going to different museums and whatnot. And they talk
And
to the
we're
people that are
having
running
a
the
UFC
museums,
fight.
and those people, right? Those people are passionate about the material. So that is to your point. But what happens obviously is that you get someone running the historical center of Boston that is from San Francisco, that was somebody's friend that got put in charge of this, and then that money's going somewhere else.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to manage. Like, no, there's not a silver bullet. It's only silver BBs that can solve it. But I definitely think that let's look at people who are doing it correctly. Warren Buffett has pledged to give away his wealth when he died. Like, he's told his kids a long, long time ago. Like, maybe I'll give you $5 million, maybe I'll give you $10 million, which obviously everybody would be excited to inherit that level of money.
Right, like think about how that's the problem too. I think when you get people into this bracket, or like athletes or whatever, they're like, oh, there's a lot of stories going around now about athletes where they like 100 million is not enough, because they're like 100 million. I only get 40 out of tax after taxes. I got to pay my agent fees, and I'm left with 15 million or whatever. And it's like,
no,
you can't live off $15 million. Like, to the point, like if Warren Buffett, if my dad's worth $1 billion and is like, I'm going to give you $5 million. I'm going to be like, I'm ready. I'm set.
That's the thing, is you can't look at the other side of the ledger. Warren Buffett is legitimately worth something in the neighborhood of 150 billion. So if you look at that and you're like, 10 million? Give me a break, man. But it's the right thing to do, because if you can't make it work at 10 million, you're not going to make it work at 100 billion. Like, it's
because wealth is crazy. Because yesterday I went and picked up a car, so the car was.
Oh,
It's an old Porsche. Porsche, I'd say it right now as an owner. I'm in that not that exclusive club anymore because the quality of my car is a little different than what you might see elsewhere. But so the car was in. If you're in the Tampa area, it's incredible.
Okay.
It's called the Paddock. It's a garage, probably 50, 60 bays. And so as I'm going in there, I meet the guy and he's like, I said, what kind of stuff's in here? Like there's got to be some incredible cars in here. He's like, oh yeah, there's a couple Ferraris next to my car. And I'm like, okay. Not knowing, like literally next to his car.
Because it's just storage. The
bay.
paddock
So-
is a store.
Well, someone owns he rented a space in someone else's unit.
Oh,
So like the door opens. This is a 2-story paddock. It's got one of those car lifts, so you can put
Right.
3 cars in the lift. And then there is a Ferrari and a Maserati in here, and then there's an office space above it. And I'm like, oh my God, how is this? He's like, oh yeah, he's got 2 more at the Enclave and a Porsche GT3 over there. So like this one,
Yeah.
so I'm like, what did he do? Like, how are these people getting all this money? It's just like
Absolutely.
so much wealth. Turns out this guy started a steel mill and sold it. So I mean,
that'll work.
that makes sense to me. But it's just like there's so much wealth. And when I got home, my wife and I were talking about it. Like, you say, obviously, I looked up how much the Ferrari was that I saw. It was
Yeah.
like $330,000. I was like, man, that's crazy. But I was like, if you had even $10 million sitting somewhere and you got a 10% return every year, you got $1 million.
Yeah,
Like that
bingo.
car's free to you. Like everything's free because you're earning it so much faster than you can spend it. So if you can get to that point, so like wealth, I think people don't understand
or how
wealth,
it generates
obviously.
and works. Yeah.
Right. Or like when you say a trillionaire, like Elon Musk can't go to the bank and pull out $1 trillion in cash. Like,
Well, and even if he
doesn't have that
could,
money.
then
Like-
who would he give it to? Like, what are you going to buy for $1 trillion?
Where's it
Right.
going to go? Right. So I think people have a misunderstanding of how wealth works because like you build
Yeah.
it and then it grows, and people just
As
don't
a
get
little bit
that.
of a side quest on the story that you're sharing. Sorry. One of the things that I like is that in America, you can run a really boring business and get rich. Like if you put in the hustle and do the work, the bar is so low to outwork almost everybody in the field, or at least 80 or 90% of the people in the field nowadays, that if you go out there and you just hustle, you can start a small business, start mowing 1 lawn, then 2 lawns, then 3 lawns, then hire the guy. And the only limit is your ability to work and how hard you're willing to do that. And if you're willing to work like no one else, you can live like no one else.
Yeah. Well, I think the World Cup has been also kind of eye-opening because all these Europeans are coming to the United States.
I
and
love
you
the
see all these
Buc-ee's
posts
one.
about like
They're like, this
Yeah,
is a gas
Buc-ee's,
station.
Mexican restaurants, like free chips. This is blowing people's minds. But one I read today, and it was a European in the United States, and like the comparison of like Americans work so much harder, like they're much more
Right.
entrepreneurial. There's so many, like all the smart people here are actually working towards things. And they said what also is interesting, the difference between U.S. and Europe, is like the people that make money here keep trying to
Right.
ascend and make more money, where in Europe they're just like status symbol people, and so they just
Right.
kind of sit on their wealth instead of like continuing to grow that. So it's just, I mean, obviously it's all cultural, but I think if you're born here, you don't appreciate anything because you're here all the time.
What's interesting about what you just said to me is that in my mind, we are absolutely not comparing ourselves to the Europeans. Like everybody kind of knows that. I think what you're articulating is they have a little bit more laid back approach. They're like, we want to earn a little bit, and then it's just status and wealth. And that ideology has to come from the fact that, hey, we have monarchs. Like once you get wealthy, you stay wealthy, and then that's
Right.
what's important. In my mind,
Right, you get titles.
we're comparing ourselves against specifically the Chinese and the Indians. And
Yeah.
obviously, it has been noted already that we are starting to lose some of our brain trust. That previously we had immigrants coming in from India and China, really great engineers, who wanted to come over here because of the educational system, because of the entrepreneurship opportunities that occurred here in the United States that didn't happen other places. And obviously China's taken a 180 on their position. They're a lot more freewheeling and open-minded. And so now these high quality, the Chinese engineers aren't coming over here as much. The Indian engineers are just going to China. And so that's what we need to be really worried about, because those people, I mean, have you heard about the Chinese work week? The 610.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not there's nothing European about that. Like there's no time for croissants
Right, no,
in the 610 workday.
No.
So
No. Well, and the education
Yeah.
system, which you mentioned, is a major
Right.
failure because this is shifting gears real quick because obviously this is a big pain point for me in education in this country because I've been in education for like 13 years now in public, 2 very different public schools and private schools. And what frustrates me, and I think what the Asian countries do that we don't do, is that we in America are not a results-driven education
we
system.
let no child be left behind,
Right, which creates poor results.
which leaves them all behind.
Like there's no result. We are all
Right.
about perception versus reality in our education system of like, oh, we did something. Well, did it work? No, but I did it.
We'll check
oh,
the box.
Okay, good job. Here you go.
Right.
Yeah, give me applause.
Hang
There you
on.
go.
Whoa. Okay, we're not that quick.
Hold on.
One moment here.
I can say it again when you're ready.
Boom. Okay. All right. Take 2.
All right. So you did something, but you didn't accomplish anything. So great job.
There we go.
There you go.
We'll get a little bit faster on the keys there. Yeah. No, I completely agree. And that's what. Okay. And that whole system is why you're able to outwork other people is because they think, oh no, I sent an email today. Yes, but did you send 100? Because the guy who's
Right.
winning sent 100 emails. You sent 10 emails.
Right.
The guy sent 1,000. I mean, it's not checking the box.
Because
it's getting the job done.
Because that person that sent the one email was the kid that sat in school and got an
Bingo.
A for not doing
Right.
anything. And so they're like, "Oh, good job. So we
Right.
didn't hurt your feelings today. We didn't want to let you know anyone's smarter than you." But guess what? When you go out to the real world, you're going to get crushed because that other guy is going to be
Right,
sending
by Jimmy
1,000
Chong, who
emails.
studied for
Right.
6 days a week for 10 hours a day. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
The work ethic isn't there. Okay, so yeah, this has been a great podcast, a great conversation, a great studio. And so I think with that, we have to give ourselves a little. Right.
Hopefully you made it to the
Yeah,
end.
who didn't? Right.
It just
All
gets
right,
better.
so we are going to let our resident monster send us out.
All right, well, thank you for joining us this week. Next week, we have a great show lined up for you, and we're looking forward to it.